Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back, Dude vs Tech here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about data privacy. And data is a really important word today here in India, mainly because a huge amount of apps were recently banned, and the reason for that was they were leaking data and also storing it without the government's permission. And this was given to be a national security threat. But people have been asking, is data leakage that big of a problem? Because a huge amount of people really don't recognize the depth of this issue. So this video is kind of like a small look into what kind of problems can we end up when we're talking about data and its leakage. So first of all, I have to say that data leakage and the fact that many people don't understand the seriousness of this issue is a huge problem, especially when we are headed to a future which is incredibly connected. When this happens, and a lot of people doesn't recognize that data is really important and is hugely connected to personal privacy, can lead to a really huge amount of issues. So it is really important that in the future, which is very near, we should be making data and education of data privacy and privacy in general a topic that students should learn from school. Okay, so let me just start off by explaining what data is. Yeah, I should do it because that's really important if you're going into this video. Because for most people, the world of data is really small. They just believe that what data means is like, it's just your personal information, like your phone number, your own name, your home address, and for them the biggest threat or the biggest fear when data gets leaked is that their credit card informations or debit card informations get stolen, their bank details get stolen. Trust me, that's not even close to the real issue. The world of data is huge. It's really huge. Literally everything that you do, every step that you take can be data that is very valuable and can be even used to make money. Not just a few pennies, but a huge chunk of it. And that's literally how big tech companies are making money, and which all of us know are not in the hundreds or thousands, but in the billions and trillions. So that's how important data is. Let me just go over a few bit of data that your own phone collects about you. Okay, open your settings, move down to your Google account settings. Select your account and tap on Manage Your Account. In the top section of the tabs, go to Data and Personalization tab, scroll down, you will see your activity and your location history. Now, when you tap on your activity, you'll be quite frightened of the things that you would see here. It's not just what kind of apps that you use, but all the apps and how and when you opened it, how many times you opened it. You can see all those details over there. Everything that you have searched in Google Chrome, in YouTube, and even third-party non-Google apps that you have downloaded from the Play Store. Then don't even get me started about location history settings. There's actually a video on YouTube where a person actually completely disconnects his entire phone. I mean, just completely disconnects from cell services, from Wi-Fi, from any types of internet connections. But as soon as he just connects it again, he measures the data that is being transferred, and a few kilobits of data is instantly transferred to Google. So if you're wondering what kind of data was transferred, it's just the data of all the places that the person visited while he was not in any connection. Those data was automatically stored in their phone and just transferred to Google. See, all the settings, all the types of data that is being taken from you, which you had seen in your settings, were actually a small bit about the huge mountain of data that Google collects. It's only the part that Google wants you to see. Google openly accepts that they collect data, but they don't accept or they don't show how much they collect about you. I will just give you an idea about how much they actually do. Okay, so before I get going, I would like to say that all of this data collection stuff is not Google specific. It's like another one of those applies to all of the above scenarios, okay? Yeah, so these companies know all the places that you have visited more than you can remember. And they might also know the kind of places that you will be visiting soon. And in the way to that place, they know how much you would be spending time in between. or actually how many times you would be stopping in between in your way to place, whatever stuff that you would be doing in between your way to that place, whatever stuff, whatever store you will be getting into. They know literally everything that you search online, everything that you buy online, everything that you think of buying online or even offline. They know just literally everything. Like, you just take two people who are living in this world, there is a good chance that these 10 companies know more about those people than they know about each other. And we're not talking about any random pair. You can take here partners, you can take here parents and children, you can take here siblings, you can take best friends, but there is still a good chance that these 10 companies knows more about that person than that person knows about himself even. Yeah, so that's a really frightening situation. But the question is, why is so much amount of data being collected? Well, the answer ultimately boils down to artificial intelligence. Yes, like in every way you go with it, it's actually artificial intelligence that's actually prompting these companies to just gather so much amount of data. You see, when you use a machine learning or artificial intelligence system, these kind of intelligent systems need stuff to learn with. It's like when you are a small child. Okay, you just learn everything from your surroundings. You have this huge amount of data. Okay, you learn to understand that this is a person and this is not a person by simply seeing a lot of people. You have so much data to work with. It's basically the same principle. The more data these companies collect and the more they feed it to the computer, the better the computer understands to differentiate between different sets of data. So that means you need to give it more and more amount of data. It's an unfathomably hungry computer, a computer that is hungry for data. So that's basically why they're doing this. But still, that doesn't explain the real why. How are they making money? Have you ever thought of that? They're actually not making money by selling new phones. Well, when is the last time Google made a profit by selling phones? Okay, so Google do make money by selling phones, but that's very, very small. A significant chunk of the profits made by companies like Google, Twitter, Facebook, everyone comes from advertisements. Well, how are they doing these advertisements, you ask? Well, in most cases, you see that when you're browsing through online, the ads that pop in front of your eyes, they're often the things that you like or often the things that you're interested in. How do they know that you're interested in the stuff? They track your data. They collect that data and uses artificial intelligence to understand the genre of things that you're at least at the moment interested in, and they target those kinds of ads towards you so that you'll be more willing to click on those ads, and a share of that click goes into Google's bank accounts, and that's how they earn money. But that's today's world. There's probably going to be a tomorrow where you cannot walk a single kilometer without sharing that information with some tech company, with some data servers located somewhere in the planet. So that's a really frightening day in front of us. And it's really important that these companies take responsibility on the sheer volume of data that is being collected. And they don't have a good track record on that either. There have been instances where companies like Facebook were just simply selling data to other companies for money. You cannot trust anybody like that with something as important as your data, and therefore the government has stepped up around the world in multiple occasions. There have been instances of these companies being fined and sometimes even being banned, as we just saw back in India. Okay, so this video was a heads up. Okay, it's just to let you guys understand the importance of your data, how important that is. And by now, probably most of you are thinking, what can I do from my part that can make a good enough change? Well, a simple thing. Whenever there's an app that asks you for permission right after you install it, just think for a minute about whether this permission makes sense. There is no reason for a phone cleaning app to access your contacts. And these are cases that actually happen. You have to think twice. Just think, does this app actually need any access to my contacts? If not, deny it. It's simple. That's your part. You just deny access. Companies like Google, Facebook are clearly taking up your data, and there's actually not much you can do about it. Those are things left for the government. But there are several other companies which are clearly stealing your data, and you have the power to prevent them. These companies actually do provide options in your phones to just deny other apps from accessing several things that would be personal to you. So the next time you see anything like that, just be more careful. Just take a minute to understand what's happening and make the right decisions on it. So yeah, that's it for this video, everyone. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Watch my other video, like to this channel, subscribe. See you later. Peace.